Bessie Newton's Biography, Part 6. He loved children. Before he even married, he used to take the ladies' children where he lived and take them down and buy them shoes and do things for them because he just loved them. When his children came on the scene, he used to sit down on the floor at Christmas time and get the Christmas tree and decorate it, and the children would come around him and help him. I'd be looking on sometime. They all enjoyed it. My brother came over one Christmas and my husband was down on the floor. He'd got a train for his son that was running around the little track, and he was just like a little child playing with that train. My brother came in and said, "You're happy, aren't you?" And Benny said, "I sure am." He was a very good man to his children. He loved to go places and take the children and me along and let them see things they could never say they had never been there or they had not seen this. He'd always take them different places. When he'd be riding along, he'd say to them, "Do you see that car there? Beautiful car. Or see that home there? If you want to have something like that, get your education." He always put that in front of them. And today I can say that they've got good jobs and a good education, all of them. Deborah is a school teacher. Rebecca, the baby girl, she works for Water and Power in the personnel department. And Laura, her husband's got a hardware store, and she works there 5 days a week, and her two girls work there on Saturday. Then Benny was saved, but he went back into the world after he went over into the Navy. He came back wild as a deer. He would talk to him, we would talk to him, and he would talk all kind of funny talk. And my husband used to just shake his head and say, "You all might have given up, but I haven't." And when he talked to Benny, he said, "I'm talking to you now, Benny, but if the Lord ever says anything to you, don't ever turn him down." Sure enough, one time he got hold of a motorcycle. He wanted to save gas. He was riding the motorcycle when he left a place, and the lady he was with there said, "Benny, put on your helmet." He put it on, and right after he got out, he had an accident. And if it hadn't been for the helmet, he would have done, if it hadn't been for the helmet, it would have done something to his head. By him being straddled to the motorcycle, it hurt him. He was bleeding so. He went to we went to see him at the hospital, and the sheets were all bloody, and we felt so sorry for him. We all were just standing there, and he said, "Daddy, I'm coming home." My husband said to him, "Yes, son, you know my door is always open." And he said again, "I'm coming back home." He didn't mean he was coming home to our house. He meant he was coming back to the Lord, which he did. When my husband came to the realization of what he was meaning, he said, "I'm sure happy about that, son." He- when he came to the when he came to the realization of what was meaning, he said, "I'm sure happy about that, son. That's good." When Benny got out of the hospital, sure enough, he made his way to the house of the Lord, and he got on his knees and he began to pray, and he asked the Lord forgiveness for what he had done, and the Lord just blessed him. My husband used to say, "If the Lord ever saves Benny, he can call me anytime." Those were his words. After the Lord brought back Benny into the church, well, then it was not over 3 months. Don't think before the Lord did call my husband home. He was ready. He was on the boat fishing, and he'd caught a fish and was rejoicing over the fish he had caught, and was standing by the man who went with him. 5 or 6 brothers from the church had gone fishing, and he was baiting his hook, and he started going over. The brother assisted him. There was a nurse and a doctor on the boat at that time, and they tried to revive him, but no hope. He was about 75 years old. I was in the house that night. My sister and Benny's my son Benny's wife was with us at the time. When my husband went out fishing, they used to be gone for 2 or 3 days. That night I kept looking for them and wondering when was he coming in. You know when someone is out and you are looking for him and they don't come, you just can't go to sleep. After so long, 9 p.m. came and he hadn't come in, and I thought to myself, he's usually here between 8 and 9. 10 o'clock came and he hadn't come home. And finally, it was late, around 11 or 12. I must have fell asleep. My daughter Rebecca came upstairs and had a key. She had a key to the door because they had gone and told my daughter. And she said, Mama, are you asleep? Put your robe on and come downstairs. I said, Why? What's the matter? She said, Just put your robe on and come down. And she kept patting me on the back. I couldn't imagine what was going on. And I went downstairs, and there were the brothers sitting around the dining room table. I thought they were going to tell me he had an accident. That was the first thing that came to my mind. So then they went on to tell me what happened. I said, What did you say? I just couldn't get it into my head what they were saying. And they went on to say it again. I guess they repeated it around 3 or 4 times. And I said, Well, Rebecca, Rebecca asked, Do you want me to stay with you tonight? And I said, No, I'll be all right. Benny was born in Shreveport, Louisiana. He'd he'd lose his mother when he was quite young. He said the last thing he remembers about his mother, he was crawling to the edge of the bed and pulling himself up and kind of looking over at his mother. He never remembered any more. He was just a little child, about like me when I lost my father. He was raised by his father and his sister. His father had a store and he stayed with him. He was the last one to leave home. When Benny died, my sister was with me, and my son's wife was with us at that time also. At the time, we were going to buy this place that I'm now in. Benny had said, Honey, you get the money together, and when I come in from fishing, we will go see Mr. Reeder. He was the man that owned the place will he was the man that owned the place and will give him the money to open escrow. We already we'd already written up the contract when I came to see Mr. Ritter. My husband was supposed to come with me, and we will continue next time.